Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update, sponsored by Tax Network USA, America's #1 choice for tax resolution. Please go to tnusa.com/bill or call 800-245-6000. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July weekend. It's Monday, July 8th, 2024. Here's what's happening today in America. Did it stop the bleeding? White House doctor, shootings in Chicago, and the real-life Biodome. That's all coming up. Then Bill's going to be here with your message of the day. But first, Biden had his sit-down interview with former Clinton Communications Director George Stephanopoulos. Did it stop the bleeding for the Biden campaign? Doesn't look like it. Netflix co-founder and executive chairman Reed Hastings has doubled down on his call for Biden to resign. He said Biden is unfortunately in denial about his mental state. He needs to step aside to let a vigorous Democratic leader beat Trump. Hastings has given over $20 million over the last few years to Democrats. A Disney heiress said she will stop donating money until Biden goes. And a former PayPal CEO, Bill Harris, has donated $620,000 so far this cycle. He said it's inevitable that Joe will step aside and has announced $2 million to fund a series of debates among candidates to take over Biden's top spot. So he's not very hot on Kamala, it seems. I mention these people because money talks. Meanwhile, the New York Post is reporting that a top D.C. neurologist had a meeting with Biden's personal doctor at the White House earlier this year. Dr. Kevin Kennard, a Parkinson's disease expert at Walter Reed Medical Center, met with Biden's doctor and two others at the White House residence on January 17th. This doctor's most recent paper was published in August of last year in the journal Parkinsonism and Related Disorders and focused on the early stage of Parkinson's disease. At least 87 people were shot in Chicago over the 4th of July weekend. 87 people. 16 died. One Chicago resident referred to the 4th of July as Assassination Day. The Metropolitan Peace Initiative director said of the violence, "You can't complain that you don't have businesses or things that are going on when we're not keeping it safe in the areas for the businesses to thrive." I didn't even know this was happening, but a real-life version of Biodome, but with Mars, has ended. 4 volunteers returned from NASA's simulated Mars environment. They've been there for 378 days. This is in Houston. 17,000 square foot facility full of red sand, and all communications were on a 22-minute delay. 2 more missions are planned. As our current vice president and maybe future president Kamala Harris said, space is exciting. I'm Mike Slater from the podcast Politics by Faith. Bill O'Reilly with your message of the day. Next.
Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Monday, we have legitimized extremism in America. Now, it's always been here. The Ku Klux Klan had to be beaten down by federal forces. U.S. Grant was behind that. But now, because of cyberspace, because of the devices, because of irresponsible companies, we have extremism being disguised as normalcy. If you go on the internet, websites, you can find the most vile, hateful stuff in the world. And some Americans, don't ask me why, believe this stuff. But even in the mainstream media, the corporate media, we have hateful things on display every day. Now, MSNBC is the best example of this. That is owned by Comcast, which owns NBC News, and NBC News produces MSNBC. If you watch that channel, you will get a steady stream of America is evil. The United States has always been bigoted. Blacks don't have a chance. Minorities don't have a chance. White patriarchy is ruining our country. Day in, day out, nonstop. What are you doing, NBC? I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Now let's go to the mail. Martha, Jill Biden is okay with exposing her husband. Shame on her. It's a repetition of Nancy Reagan when she was running the country, yet Ronald Reagan came back. Unfortunately, Biden is done. Is a difference between Jill Biden and Nancy Reagan, and killing Reagan. I get into this heavy. So after Ronald Reagan was shot, almost killed, he went downhill mentally. That's a fact. And we put it in Killing Reagan. We documented it, and the Reagan Library got furious because we told the truth, and the Reagan Library in Simi Valley didn't want the truth out. But then Reagan made a comeback, a pretty startling comeback, and regained control of the government. But in the last year or so, the dementia started to kick in again, all right? And Nancy Reagan was basically the gatekeeper. No one got to Ronnie unless Nancy said, okay. But that was the last year. He had been reelected. He was on his way out, like Woodrow Wilson, which you'll see in Confronting the Presidents. He was out totally the last almost 2 years of his administration. He had a stroke and he was incapacitated. Nobody knew it. So Jill Biden knows that Joe Biden cannot possibly run this country anymore. Other people are running it. We name them tonight. Knows that. Won't give up power. Nancy Reagan was different, okay? Her job was, I'm going to protect Ronnie. In the first term, when he was almost killed, she didn't have much to say. But her power grew in the second term. So that's what it is. Onetta, what exactly did Trump lie about during the debate? Have not been able to figure that out. I trust you, O'Reilly, and want to know the truth. Well, we gave you a couple of examples where he exaggerated. But they pin a lie on him for his opinion that the election of 2020 was fraudulent. That's Trump's opinion. He's entitled to hold that opinion. But the media says, oh, he's lying. That's the game. It's a game. In a moment, something you might not know. Are you feeling the impact of recent timeshare industry changes? Now more than ever, the costs of timeshare ownership far outweigh the benefits. My friends at Lone Star Transfer are the only company I trust to help you get out. For more than a decade, they have helped over 20,000 owners get out of the timeshare. Their exclusive options can help you get out faster and easier, more than any other option in the country. They are the only company that will give you a written guarantee and release you from your timeshare in a specific time frame. With an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau, and thousands of 5-star reviews, customer service is their top priority. For free consultation and a guaranteed solution, please call 855-551-7066. That's 855-551-7066, or go to LoneStarTransfer.com. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. If you are taking a trip this summer, here are some popular destinations for 2024 ranked by U.S. News and World Report. In the USA, the top 5 starts with the Grand Canyon, followed by San Diego, Yellowstone National Park, and Honolulu. The number 1 destination in the USA, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. The peninsula is home to beautiful beaches, but also there are a number of great white sharks swimming around. The predators are often seen just a few yards from oblivious tourists. That is not good. There have already been this year 150 sightings of great whites near Cape Cod. Overseas, Americans are heading to the UK and Ireland. Folks looking for tropical climates are jetting to the Dominican Republic, Brazil, and Mexico. But if you're going south of the border, beware. Cartel violence now rampant, and tourists are not protected, generally speaking. The number one destination for international travel this summer is Paris, France. The French capital is hosting the Summer Olympics in July and August. In total, the City of Light will be a temporary home to 15,000 athletes, 20,000 journalists, 50,000 volunteers, and 15 million visitors from every country on earth. With war raging in Ukraine and the Middle East, French authorities are worried about terrorism. In early March, the attendance capacity for the opening Olympic ceremony in Paris was cut in half. President Macron announced last week that his government has an alternative plan should intelligence agencies suggest a terror attack is imminent. And here's something else you might not know. The most popular destination for Americans this summer is staying at home. Half of adults say they plan to enjoy local parks, beaches, and sports less than an hour from their house. Staycations, I hate that word, but it is popular. Back after this. If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. This protection plan is at an all-time low in price. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.